week. As you can see, I'm on my character Felicity Sky on the realm, and I'm going to go over a few things with you. So if you click on your character and do a look at, you can see your attributes, your skills, which you have all types of different skills. One thing that's good with Wizzies is throwing dagger until you can get your spells up. You have effects, biography, if you want to add something, your equipment. And one thing nice about your equipment is you can engrave it. And that's from the spell, the sorcery. And you also have your state. So, also you have your inventory here to the bottom of your right. And we get a little bit of gold and some clothing and things to eat. You also have your spells for a wizard. Adventurers usually use spells too. Your quests, if there are any quests. Group, if you want to join with somebody. Chat, your mail, options, and your help. So if you go through this door here and click on your chest box, I'm not going to do that, as you can see. But one thing that is good is if you change your password, because usually it's the password that you log into. So one thing that does help if you do change your password. And if you go out here, back into the other room, and if you hit the evict button here to your right, that helps keep people from coming in and stealing your items. So if you go through here, it'll take you outside. So then you enter to the town of East Leinstern. And if you go all the way straight down, of course you're going to see other fellow realmers. And if you go into the Strait of the Loom here, and if you hit shop, you'll see there's dyes, all kinds of dyes to dye your clothing, your book bag, and you have some clothing like hose and stuff like that, a belt. And then you come out here. Oh, another thing that I want to show you is, let's see where it is again. I'll find it. Click. Maybe if it's up here. Okay, we'll go all the way back up to the top. Click on the teleporter. And if you click teleport, you can see there's a map. So you have Avalon, Usk, Droon, Silverbrook, Monmouth, Wen, Muris, Asgard, Aramathor, you have Carafandri, West Leinstern, East Leinstern, and Kurtz. And those are all the areas to the game at this time. So if we go back down, and you'll find the same little shops in each of those towns. If you come into here, and if you click shop on him, as you can see, you have critical striking and aerobatics. And if you want to be a thief, then you want to get pickpocketing, trap detection, lockpicking. But of course, with 500 in gold, can't afford that at this time. But anyhow, as we keep going to your left, maybe go down another, and you go through here, and click shop on this lady. You can get mithril armor, which is really, really good for adventurers, and it's also good for warriors. unless you get the special armor that usually comes from hunting in the dungeons and such. Let's see, we'll go down one, and then we'll go to the right. And if you go into spells of fire, you can usually find mana crystals and potions, your scrolls if you want to use some scrolls, and you can get your spells. But before you can get your spells here, which as you can see you have sorcery, elementalism, mysticism, thaumm, and necro. Before you can get your spells, you have to go to this other shop, which is if you go up. In this shop here, you can find your backpack and things that you can, and it's always good to use that as you're getting, as you're picking up things from when you're hunting. And as you can see, I'm hungry and thirsty, so I'm going to go ahead and eat some veggies and drink some water. So if we go to the left here and go into this shop, this is where you can find your skill books. And you can also get daggers. And this is where you can get the skill books in order to get your spells. And mediation is very, very, very important to get as well, because that increases your spell damage. So if we go to the right, and go up, let me see where this shop is. There's another shop where it shows you to for weapons. Here we go, to the hilt. So if you click on him, you can get your throwing daggers, which is, I'm going to get a steel for now. And the armor that he sells isn't, the leather armor is for the wizzies and the thieves, and troll leather. You can use either of those two. I think mainly for the wizzies they use leather, and then for the thieves they use troll leather. But the iron and the steel, it doesn't work too well. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit about hunting. So as you can see, I'm in Rattling Run. And this is usually the beginning areas for when people first come into the game. So what you want to do in order to fight, let's get away from the zombie. I can't remember if he might jump or not. So you click on the mob, and the dagger isn't going to work at this time because I don't have the skill for it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use light dart. So you just keep hitting the mouse by hitting, what you do is you, as you see there's a timer here. You hit cast spell, right click on your light dart if you're a wizard, and there you go. So you get an item. Ooh, could be something important. Could be a ring of endurance, who knows. And that's all you do basically, is just keep hitting. Now if you get attacked, and you'll notice your health will go low. I'll show you what you do. You right click on your character, as you can see, and hit cast, because if you look to the right you can't get your spells up. But this is real helpful for when you're in higher areas too and you don't want to get jumped. But this is basically what you do here, and this is just so you can pick up some gold And then once you get a good bit of gold, then you'll be able to go into this one tent area that's really, really good for hunting. One thing I noticed with wizards is when you get a good bit of gold, the one thing that helps is to keep your mana up. This is when you're first starting out, and to make sure you get greater inviso potions. And also for the thumb, you want to get your first I think it's you get summon pixie. And then that way, when you're in the little dungeon, you are in Viso and you summon the pixie, and that way the mob will just keep hitting the pixie while you attack the mob. So, but this is what you do, and I'll show you where that tent is. There's the tent. So anyhow, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get my other character on. Hi, as you can see, I'm back and I'm on my main character. And I'm going to go head up. I didn't want to go into that tent on my low character, but I can show you. As you can see, first off, my character, my main, is 302. And she has all of the skills that are needed. And her equipment is engraved, like I was telling you. And let me see what else I'm looking at. Her attributes. As you can see, her spell damage modifier is 153. But if I put my intel rings and my amulet of intel on, it's like 185, I believe, and that's the highest you can get. That's why when you create a wizard, you want to put all of your attribute points into the intel area, because then when you need to enchant, as you can see, I enchanted my skirt, enchanted with empower, dexterity, and immolation. When I enchant, which is, I'm going to do a different tutorial on that, you can get anywhere from 3 to 5. I believe I started enchanting when I was level 250, but I haven't tried to get up to 5 yet. I think I'm going to wait till that until I'm about maybe 400, and then I'm going to try and do 5 enchants. So that's going to be kind of fun. And yes, you can blow stuff up. So I've already lost a wizard hat, sadly, on that matter. Certain things just get kind of scary to do because you don't want to blow them up. But if you go into this dungeon, like I was telling you on my other character, you hit the trapdoor. As you before I hit the trapdoor, as you can see, you can get their shop owners here, so you can get spells and things here as well. Mana, you can repair if you need to repair. So this is a really, really nice beginner dungeon. But if you click the trapdoor and you hit enter, this is mainly a single fight if you go in. So it's real basic and easy. But then when you get up to the last door, you can't because it's locked. You have to unlock all of these. But when you get to this door where I'm looking at, there's more mobs. So the more mobs are grouped together. And like I said, what you do is you hit your spell. And if you want to get... usually you would use potions, but when you get to the point where you can do that, you hit extension, and then you do improved invisibility. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, you're inviso. So then you hit enter. But normally what you do when you start out, you would get the potion, and it lasts for a good bit. Here you would summon the fairy, which is, like I told you, I believe you start out with Okay, pixie. So you would start out with a pixie, and then you would hit your light dart, and get your item. And you would go through all through here. You would just keep going until you complete it. Now when you get high enough, you'll kill it in like one hit, as you can see. It don't even take out long. But now that I'm higher, because I'm 302, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this dungeon, and let's see, we'll go to another area. So we'll go to, I don't want to go to Ramp with Thor. I believe I was in Asgard. So if you go to the left, let me see what I have. Okay, that's shops. Let's see what I find. Okay, so here's a warden. So let's try him. So I'm going to summon Fairy Queen. As you can see, he used Light Dart on me. And then I'm going to use Stun. Let's see if I can stun him. Perfect. And then I'm just going to hit Light Dart. And we're going to kill him off. Now, as they get higher, you know, their health increases, so it takes a little bit longer to kill them. And one thing you have to be careful, okay, so the stun didn't last too long. One thing you have to be careful is if you go into desert areas, you might come across berserkers, and of my understanding, we don't fight them at this time, and they can kill you in one hit. So, as far as being a low level, it might be best to stay away from the berserkers. Oh, I got a gold statue. Those are usually about 500. So, I don't know if any of these things, mobs are going to jump me or not, because of the fact I'm higher now. But if I was a lower level, more likely they would jump me. Another thing, if you go into the gossip channel, a lot of people in here are real friendly and helpful. And I know to some people, the graphics might not appease to them. But I can tell you one thing from this game. It's an older it's an older game, an older MMO. And the people are wonderful here. It's like our own little community. And we welcome newcomers. And if anybody would ever need help in hunting, or you want to try the game, you can always you can send me a message on the game. My name is Tamara, or you can find me on Felicity Sky, and I'll be glad to help. Help you, and if I can, go out with you hunting and give you some tips in that. But anyhow, this concludes my video for the week. And I hope everyone has a good week next week. And I'll be doing another video on enchanting. But other than that, if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button and the notification bell for future videos. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.